But we do have some big news with Joe Milton III.
Oh.
And the big trade, of course, what day does it happen?
Thursday, day after we do our weekly, day after the main event. So now it's been what 4 days since the news has happened, but we've yet able to talk about it. So this is something we need to talk about. It's gonna severely change what the quarterback room looks like. The dude's only in his second year, but we'll lead out. Paul, what did you think about the Joe Milton trade? Did you give it a yay or a nay?
Massive yay. Like, the reason I'm saying that is because it's a better backup option to Trey Lance, put it that way, in terms of trade value and in terms of ability, put it that way. And when you really do think about it, when it comes to Joe Milton, like, he can complement a lot. Like, depending on what we do in the draft, if we get like some, I don't know, like Tip McMillan or Luther Burden on top of the wide receiver core, that would actually help both Prescott and Milton to actually throw the more of the deep ball threats and stuff like that as well. So I think overall, I mean, don't get me wrong, Milton still has a fit. Still, he's a bit too raw in some regard, but man, like, I think this is a much better valuable option for backup quarterback for sure.
100%.
And better than anything we would have gotten for that 5th round pick this year. Like, I don't think you're going to draft a quarterback in the 5th round that has a better chance to start than Joe Milton and who doesn't have that has the same intangibles as him. So for me, guys, I'll lead out too for the three of us in here. I think it's a big yay. I was super excited when it happened. I actually was going through our old drafts from last year, and we drafted Joe Milton in the 5th round a couple times in our mock draft. So I'm happy that he's there. I'm more excited to see him in a backup role than Trey Lance. Trey Lance, sure, maybe didn't get the most fair attempt at winning the backup role in Dallas, but I'm excited to see what Joe Milton can do going forward with the Cowboys.
Yeah, and for a few reasons, I like it. Number one, I think one of the knocks could be that he's old. That's something that we talked about. But when you time it, you're going to kind of have him hitting his still would be in his prime for a quarterback, and you know that might stretch for till quarterbacks are 35 now. I haven't crunched the new numbers, guys. Okay, but you know, I think he'll be around 29 years old when that contract runs out. And that's if he is the guy who's going to take over for Dak, if that's what we find out over these next 3 years. Now you've got a contract with him. Probably Cowboys won't sign it until he's 29, so we'll end up paying him big-ass money anyways. But there's that makes sense to me, right? Like, obviously, if you're drafting him and he was 26 years old now, you'd kind of be like, what the f*** are you doing?
Brandon Weeden, like the Browns did a few, like 10 years ago.
Oh, God, yeah. So that was, what, 2012?
Something like that, yeah. Brandon Weeden was like 27 coming like, in the NFL draft.
Yeah, but his tangibles or his measurables, look good from his draft day. So, like, if I'm looking at this compared to quarterbacks this year,
at the same like fifth round spot that you would have drafted, like what you used to get Milton,
right? I would be pretty happy with. I'd be like, okay, this guy's got a lot of potential here, and finally, it's like, I guess the contract too is just like. When you compare what happened with him and Trey Lance went to the Chargers. I think he's got like just a little over $6 million for 1 year. And good for him to go get his money because he wasn't going to get it in Dallas, right? But if I'm comparing who I would want on the squad, Joe Milton has more, I guess there's just more potential that we haven't seen, where I think we saw enough from Lance to be like, he had some opportunity and he never really took it to the level that we were like, okay, I want to see more. I kind of felt, you know what, I know what Lance can do here. He's not terrible, but he's not adding that value that we want.
When Cooper Rush consistently beats you out for the second string quarterback after watching how Cooper Rush was playing last year, you got to think something's off, right? So, Ad, what do you think?
Yeah,
you like the pick?
I liked it. I mean, last year he was one of the guys. He was my DTR. I mean, the year before I was all hot and heavy on Dorian Thompson Robinson. I can't even say his name. We call him DTR. Last year I liked Joe Milton. When they started talking about possibly trading for him, I went to about 6 p.m. In my trousers, and I was like, okay, I kind of like it. I think it's interesting. I like the idea of bringing him in. I like the idea of him sitting behind Dak Prescott. I think if you're looking to go to any team to develop as a quarterback, you're definitely going to get a very, very unique experience in Dallas. Dak's going to show him, hopefully, how to like really handle yourself with the amount of scrutiny that you'll be getting from everybody in the world. Like, there's no other quarterback that's going to be scrutinized more than a Cowboys quarterback. And the fact that, like, he took less money to come to Dallas,
No.
apparently. Is that what it
No,
said?
they took less.
That's
The
the
team,
rumor. That's the rumor.
the team
Like,
took less
the
compensation.
Oh.
So they could have got like maybe a 4th round for him, but the Patriots opted to trade him to Dallas because he wanted to go to Dallas because he
Yeah, I
grew
have
up.
I have
Okay.
audio actually.
Oh, let's get it.
Sweet.
Come on, you don't want to do your boy. You don't want to do your boy dirty, do you, Steven? Steven, does he want to do his boy dirty?
But
When you said you had audio, you had me. You tricked me.
You got me
April
on that.
Fools.
You tricked
all
me.
month, baby.
All month, baby. Zingers all month.
But I think that he has a cannon of an arm, so
Yeah.
I just want to see him in preseason launch a fucking 75-yard throw to Turpin on a fucking
I was
fade
just about
route.
to say that.
Like,
Well, it made
Captain Splooge City over here is what's going to happen
Look,
in preseason.
it made preseason get a lot more interesting. At least
Yeah.
we get to see. I mean, even if they would have drafted a quarterback in the draft this coming up April, it would have still been exciting to watch them in preseason. But I always like when you have someone to watch in preseason, like a Joe Milton. And coming into the league, he's not much different than Dak Prescott was. Dak Prescott wasn't known for his accuracy coming into college. He was known for his running ability. And so Dak Prescott's an example of if you get the right coaching and the guy's willing to master his craft, he can change his fundamentals and become a good passing quarterback. He has all the measurables to do it, so he just might need some coaching up.
Look, if you can, sorry, Paul, but if you can coach this guy to be as good of as a thrower and decision maker that Dak Prescott is, whether you think Dak Prescott's good or not, that's not the point. But then you add on Milton's ability to run with the football, and he's a big-bodied dude who can maybe give us a little bit of that Josh Allen vibe in the offense. I don't know his toughness, but
that's the one thing you can say about Joe Milton. If you watch his like highlights when he was playing with the Patriots and some of the games he did play, he did run play action. So, and he's actually quite good at it. So, doesn't always necessarily need to chuck the ball 60 to 70 yards down the line.
Yeah.
Like he's more than capable to run with the ball. So, but yeah, and again, looking over like in terms of what we did for the trade, I think it's actually really good as well. Like we only traded away a 5th round pick and we got Joe Milton and a 7th rounder back. So it works out more even. But when you compare it to the whole Trey Lance giving up a 4th rounder just for Trey Lance, it's but this trade overall just feels more fair, more like low risk, high reward,
And-
potentially.
and Patriots, to their credit, they did, like we just talked about, do Milton right, and they because they had the quarterbacks they wanted. They didn't need to roast this guy over the fires or keep him on the bench just because they didn't get a 4th rounder. I thought it's for their money. They
High character.
They didn't really. They probably should have got more. I think they definitely shouldn't have given up their a 7th as well.
Yeah, the 7th is like is the kind of the icing on the cake for the Cowboys because I think even just trading a 5th for him would have been nice. And just back to the Trey Lance thing, I think the reason that Cowboys fans had such a sour taste about Trey Lance, at least I know me personally, was because of that 4th that they gave up, the amount that they had to give up for him for such a little bit of amount of return. Knowing what his contract was when he got to Dallas, you knew he was never going to get a 2nd contract. So he was kind of like a rental for a 4th round pick to be a 3rd string quarterback. That was kind of the sour taste where Milton should be the backup quarterback right away. So you traded a 5th for a guy that has a chance to get a lot better, and he's already your 2nd string quarterback. So it's just a win across the board.
Yeah, and Joe Milton had some comments here too. We're just looking at a bloggingtheboys.com article. Joe Milton III on joining Cowboys playing with Dak, how far he can throw a football by Tommy Yarish. I remember you, Tommy.
Hey, Tommy.
Tommy.
Tommy Yarish.
Do you want to hit this quote?
Here, let me get one of these real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
Oh, what did I do? Hang on.
Adam, do you want to get this? Bam! Take
I don't know
that.
what happened. I just tried to double click this quote.
It was great. It's a blessing come true. That was something that me and my team talked about and was able to get done with the Cowboys. So it's just a blessing to be here.
Ad plays Joe Milton in his upcoming autobiography.
No, it's,
You're like this?
it's the Audible book where they cast an actor who sounds nothing like him.
Nothing like the person.
Yeah. For my rookie season, I grew a lot. Football's football at the end of the day. Just having fun, enjoying the best thing I can do, and that's going out there and just having fun with it and enjoying my teammates, getting to learn people.
And getting in the showers with the boys.
Here now,
I added that.
Well,
I added that.
That's part of football.
That is.
here now, I'm a Cowboy now. Being able to learn my teammates and get to explore and experience different things
Jesus.
with them. After
Okay.
AJ talked about getting into the shower,
Through the context of.
AJ threw the
God,
context
I
off.
could-
How do you
I
think
could be
about
getting out of context so badly?
Paul's just imagining Joe Milton walking into the locker room, into the shower, and everyone's like, "Cannon arm coming through!
Yeah. Whoa, cannon arm. Holy smokes.
Look at the cannon
Look
on
at that
him."
cannon arm on that
God.
guy. Hey, guys, I also did read, and it wasn't in this. I thought it was going to be, is Milton's from Dallas, isn't he? Or
He grew up around the area.
Grew up around the
Yeah.
area, and his
Mom
family
always is wearing one, yeah.
and
Wearing
I
the
think his-
Cowboy shirt.
Yeah, his family's in Texas or in Dallas.
Always been, yeah. Grew up as Cowboys fans, which a lot of NFL players can. Can you scroll down just a little bit
Yeah.
here? Because they had his stats. Oh yeah, the only playing time that Milton received with the Patriots was his final game of 2024. So not a lot of playing time, but he went 22 of 29 for 241 yards and a touchdown, and he had a couple nice little scramble plays. If you guys saw some of the highlights from that game against the Bills, so a small sample size. But you have his full college tape. You know what he did coming into the draft last year. It's exciting. I like this pick or this trade is exciting, and it makes me feel more like I like how the quarterback's room's turning out going into the season or into the draft.
Full season of football too.
Yeah, full season of football.
So you're kind of acclimated to what the NFL is all about, which it takes that a little bit off. He was also in a pretty QB heavy draft last year, so where he went isn't indicative of where he should have went. Like this year,
I wonder where he would be on the list this year.
exactly. So this year he probably would have been. He probably easily would have been
Dart.
he probably would have been like probably fourth rounder. Like he probably would have been between Dart and him. I think going as that third or fourth QB, possibly. But I mean, I still think there's some really. I mean, we talked about some of the quarterbacks that we would draft in round 5. He's definitely better than them. The quarterbacks that we would want to draft are probably going to go in round 4. Which guess what, Jerry? You got rid of our Mingo 4. Okay.
Here. Ewers or Milton?
Milton.
Okay. What about you, Paul? You were Quinn Ewers or Joe Milton III?
Joe Milton.
Okay.
There we go. Consensus.
AJ hates Ewers, and I wouldn't draft Ewers either.
The only quarterbacks I think I would take over him in this draft are guys that the Cowboys wouldn't draft with their picks, like you had mentioned. Anyone before Jackson Dart with Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward. Those are the guys that you would want, but the Cowboys were never going to realistically draft those guys. So I think they got, and now they don't have to use a pick on a quarterback, which is nice.